Okay, I'm calling it right now. Dive is going to become super meta and be the number one thing that people target ban in Marvel Rivals. Season 1.5 will be the season of dive. All of the pieces of the puzzle are here now. The Thing is such a strong dive hero, and honestly, Human Torch isn't bad either. But there are so many potent dive compositions now that if you coordinate your team and actually focus targets, it's insanely difficult to survive or find any kind of space. It will take practice, yes, that is for sure, but people are already gravitating towards dive, and that's without the Thing around. Picture this. You are Adam Warlock, and a Hulk jumps over your team directly at you. The Thing uses his leap and follows the Hulk, just as a Spider-Man comes swinging in and a Black Panther hops off the fucking wall. What you gonna do about it? Soon as they all land, Hulk uses his shield protecting everyone, Thing charges to knock you up, Spider-Man uses his combo on you, and the Panther dashes through your chest. This is just one of many possible combinations that can lead to your quick demise. And if you change the character being Tove to pretty much any other character, the result is the same. The Thing can shut down your mobility himself, and that small window of being stuck is all it takes to being knocked out. Replace the Hulk with Venom or Captain America. Replace Spider-Man with Iron Fist. Hell, you could probably throw Mr. Fantastic in the mix. Psylocke can close gaps easily, or even bring Wolverine if they try to tank up, since the Thing or Hulk can team up with him. Oh, and don't forget your healers. A cloaked Invisible Woman or Loki can get up close easily and help pop the surprise. Cloak and Dagger are always a good option to draw attention from the other side. Or if you really want to get try hard, have a Mantis damage boost everyone a moment before the dive countdown takes place. You could change it up entirely and go something like The Thing, Venom, Hulk, and Captain America with a couple of supports. You could use the Human Torch on maps like Tokyo 2099 where space is limited and he can throw down a ton of AoE burn into the mix. Not to mention he can instantly dive himself with his F, and his basic attack functions more like a shotgun, so you have many options. This dive comp meta will thrive with proper voice communication and coordination, which I'm okay with. Good comms should be rewarded. Planning and strategy should be rewarded. I am worried, though, that we lack the proper tools or compositions to properly protect against dive. And that isn't exactly the player's fault. Certain spots on some maps will be easier or harder to defend than others, but overall, if you think of the most defensive team that you can come up with, it's still hard to survive some basic dive scenarios. Hulk will probably still be a key ban because of just his actual kit and the AoE shield. He's a big enabler of this dive playstyle. The Thing might get banned too. The team that wants to do the diving could also ban Namor or Penny or something like that to really maximize their value. It's hard to put on paper a team that beats the coordination throughout most ranks anyway. Sure, a top 500 team will have the skill and the brains to potentially minimize a dive, but they also possess the same skill to utilize it. If you can somewhat set this up at any mid-rank, let's say Diamond, and one guy can call out targets and a basic countdown, it helps a ton. It's scary. The math is not in your favor. If you're a squishy, you're kind of fucked. You can dive a Punisher and end him before he can even swap to his shotgun and fire twice. Imagine a Moon Knight or something. They just can't handle the heat of a coordinated shield, damage reduction, 500 damage per second dive team. And the Thing enables a lot of this. His shift ability not only knocks you up, but stops you from using any mobility skills to escape. You cannot run, and he cannot be displaced or pushed away. His right-click attack basically cannot miss, if you're within 10 meters anyway. And his E ability is so fast and so clean, and it adds a solid damage reduction to keep the Bio Ball of Death rolling. Keep in mind that the Thing also punches through shields, so he can even apply solid pressure to a Doctor Strange or Magneto who are played all the time, and also they just got nerfed a bit. Pressure on tanks can also come from other divers. Venom's ult got changed so he can use it more frequently, and it's a tank shredder. And with the new Iron Fist changes, he will be tankier for most fights and can now do percentage damage to enemy tanks. So if you try to out-tank the dive or out-kill it, it could be a rough time either way. If the dive secures a kill quickly, it snowballs from there. All attention will be turned on the dive, enabling the dive team's healers to move in and also contribute to the fight. I think it's even possible we see a 5-man dive comp that uses a solo healing Rocket Raccoon who just stands far away and AoE heals from a distance. Is Scarlet Witch an answer? People say she is, but I don't see it. Yeah, she can avoid the dive herself, I get that. Her AoE stun can be slightly useful at times, but her damage output, even against tanks, is pitiful. Maybe you go to the air and play flying DPS, but that just leaves your healers on the ground waiting to die. You won't be beaming down a Hulk or the Thing before they punch someone 6 feet deep. Or maybe Groot is somehow an answer. You try to clog up your own backline when the enemy team dives you and get them all mixed up in your walls, and maybe you guys survive long enough to take a couple of them down. Or maybe we just fight dive with dive and it turns into one big crazy brawl. Those are always entertaining and fun fights, and honestly, I enjoy those so much more than people trying to snipe each other from across the map with Hawkeye, Hela, Punisher, Black Widow, whatever. Let's briefly touch on what Human Torch can do as well. The guy has some fantastic AoE damage that he can put all over the place, and he can throw that right into the enemy backline from range. And being able to do this from range while the enemies are distracted by 3 or 4 other people diving in their face is a huge bonus. But add on the fact that he can also instantly dive into the fight from range, and it leads to some potentially lethal combos. The ranged harassing duelist is suddenly in your face, shotgunning you down with fireballs. He could be an interesting player in the counter dive gameplay as well. Just flying up top and being safer, doing AoE damage and having an AoE knockback, they're all useful tools against diving teams. Here's the main thing though. Both of the new characters are a lot of fun. They feel unique compared to everything else we've played, and they have some very interesting new tools to mess around with. Fun is the most important thing in the game, and the developers succeeded with these character designs once again. If you think dive is bad now, I don't see it getting any easier to stomach in Season 1.5. Nerfs to support alts open the door for more dive play, and some of the potential divers just got buffed, including Iron Fist and Venom. Am I missing something here? Is there some secret tech to defend against dive that I'm not seeing? I want to start running these comps with my viewers in quick match and learn to coordinate and rush people down. I think playing dive is a solid way to learn how to counter dive. You can see what others try to do or how to mess with their coordination. I'm really hoping that we have some more strategists and vanguards in the pipeline that aren't dive themselves and more solid defensively in nature. Or some sort of zoning duelist that can punish people for overextending. Anyway, we will leave it at that. These are some of my predictions based on my early gameplay of The Thing and Human Torch so far. Let me know if you disagree or agree, or how you see the meta playing out. I do stream daily on twitch.tv/Silva66. So you can hit me up there. We can chat about it. Leave a comment on the video, whatever you want. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care as always.